After a quick battery change, we're moving away from the star apple. This is a strawberry guava. There's a whole host of guavas in here. All sorts of, okay, this is supposed to be a cherry pineapple guava. I'm not a fan of guava. There's a feijoa. Oh, they do have pretty flowers. I have never seen this plant fruit though. I'm not sure it would be a good seed, a good plant to try and grow from seed. More guavas, nothing special. A few old manky citrus. There were more, they've got removed. That one there is a lime. Here we go. Jambalin, Syzygium cumanite, is not this guava tree. It's a tree back there that had the rose apple sign in front of it. Trust me. Now there are more trees up this hill. There's a carob tree a bird just flew out of. This is another guava. More guavas. Is it really a guava? Yep. So this orange fruit from Japan. Oh, can't remember. Some trees in the custard apple family. A couple of quite large locust trees. Delicious, but they're a bit hard to get to. Small orange fruit. A medium-sized seed. Here's two more locusts. I always forget what these are. Very tart. Mangosteens. This is a variety of mangosteen. There's a few more custard apple relatives up the tree. Yeah, yellow mangosteens. I just saw a sign. So that will help remember. That reminded me what they are next time. And we've basically done a circuit of the place. The only thing we haven't seen, the path is just there, is I believe this is the old pumping equipment and was part of the town water supply many years ago when my father was a boy. I don't know if this sign is going to tell us anything. Old pump station. Oh, the various pump attendants planted the trees. Might have been like their own private garden. Well, at least they would have had plenty of water. That definitely looks like an engine. More concrete by the fig tree. So there used to be belts. Okay, back on the road we came in on, the path. There's been a few cyclists coming through this path. It's part of a larger track into cycling. They all had to walk their bikes uphill. Oh, that's my neck. Was wearing a damp cloth around my neck. A special one to help keep you cool. And because it's wet my shirt, I didn't notice it had fallen off. Another of nature's ugliest mistakes. female this time. You know how young, sorry, okay. You know how young animals are supposed to be cuter than their parents? Puppies, kittens. Ugliest bird I've ever seen was a baby turkey. So we walked in through there, along the top, and we haven't actually been on this section yet. This hasn't really been gardened up on the right, but it doesn't look quite the same as the country on the left. We have just come back onto the map that I've been using to show you where we are. So at the very top, I'm not going to double up on the red line that we're about to follow back down to the Mount Castle Tower display, but I will show you as we progress from that corner down there. I'll continue moving us around from there and adding to the map as we go. This is an extremely new section. It seems every time I come they've done something new. And those rocks weren't here last time I was here. They cleared out the undergrowth. You can see the trees they left behind. This has been over the course of 18 months of, I'd say, quite careful and well-planned work. Some macaranga, which will be a shade producer very quickly. Some grasses by the creek. And I'm sure there's going to be a path somewhere. We shall have a look shortly. So this is Mount Castle Tower. I do like the way that they've got a little bit of a plateau up there. Callide Valley is out near Billawheeler, I believe. There's some paper daisies in there. Yeah. Rather cute, non-commercial, native paper daisies, I believe. And we're not going to the Rundle Range today. We're going into the subtropical rainforest. As I said, we're taking the outside route. You'll see some pretty good foresty stuff. Where is the path going to be in there? Sandpaper fig? Yep. Something in the Malvaceae family. Okay, there's a lot of dense dark stuff. We're generally going to be sticking to the outside, so the dense stuff will mostly be on our right and some plantings on our left. Like there's some black bean trees here, 2 of them, and a fig that's another sandpaper fig that's just growing by chance. Oh, there's a really poor looking black bean. Okay, so Zygium francesi. This has got some lovely foliage on it. The rose saturnace. And it can have quite red foliage at certain stages of its growth. There's a little Capparis arborea, like the big wild one that we saw, but not nearly as large. It might be of fruiting age. So there's usually a little bit of a narrow planting along here, but it's just running out. Oh, this is a fig. Plentiful fig. Okay, yep. Often there's figs all over the path here. Irony, the plentiful fig. Well, I believe these are commercially grown in some countries. There's some tulip woods just here. I don't want to pronounce it, pendula. These are a tree with the opposite of invasive roots. They're often planted up against buildings. Puleo pendula. And they grow readily from seed. It's supposed to have a lovely timber, but it never gets too thick. It's turned, mostly. Hence the common name tulip wood, because the wood presumably looks like the tulip of Europe. Tulip? Yeah, okay. Like a different type of tree that's called tulip. Scrappy little leggy in here. Not sure what it is. Oh, satinwood. Vitex lignum vitae. These look enough like a Syzygium fruit to be of concern. Shape, colour, everything. It's a purgative. I wouldn't eat that. But it's a tricky one. This is what they call native basil. It's more like a mix of sage and other herbs. And there's a citrusy version of it, as a naturally occurring citrusy version of it, as well as a aniseed flavoured version of it. I've grown the citrusy one before. Think of it like mother of herb, but a native Australian plant that was very popular with the settlers. There's quite a lot of it growing here, and there's some more on the other side, or the other side of this patch. I think these trees are amazing. I found a couple of owls in them one day. These are canary beeches, and they look like the kind of tree you'd see in a cartoon to me. I mean, look at the branches coming off that trunk. I think it's just spectacular. It'll be a fantastic climbing tree if you're small enough to fit between the branches. I'll get the proper name for that in the captions. Is this where I would go? I want to check on... Ah yes, this is where I go. Another sandpaper fig. Okay. So this tree is just flowering. That's good, we haven't missed it. This is the grease nut, and I have some astounding photographs of it. No, that's not its name, must be up the back. It's a big tree. It would have to be watered to be grown in your yard in this region. Canandia bivalvus. It puts on a spectacular show. These flowers will end up with a nut in the middle of them essentially, and then bracts will grow around the outside, and it's starting to there. And those bracts will get bigger and bigger. They'll turn light green. There's one up there. So the tree first goes to a light green covering of bracts. And then as they start to ripen, they'll turn yellow to orange to red. And it looks like a capsicum tree with multicoloured capsicum on it. The bracts are very, they're like a small capsicum size. You can't eat the bracts. There's a smallish seed, well, it's a large seed really, but compared to the bracts, it's a smallish seed in the middle of them. They're a very, very showy plant. So there's been a few losses just here. Don't know anything about that one. Obviously the cicadas are out in force. They're starting to turn up around home too. One of our native hollies. named because of the leaves. I would expect. There's a grassed area just through here. And I think we've got some non-natives just here. I'm not positive, but I think those are bananas. This is cat's whiskers. And that's a native bee on the cat's whiskers. Oh, it's in the back. There's a fully purple version of these flowers as well. This is the whiter variety. Purple and blue. Blue, I think. The leaves are made into a tea, which is supposed to be very good for the kidneys. When I say supposed to, this is grown from, this is native to Australia. It grows up into Southeast Asia, and the locals use it as a restorative for kidneys, etc. I'm not saying you should use it. If you're interested in it, do some research. Oh, it grows from cuttings, and it's pretty bulletproof. It will tell you if it needs water because it works. Can be grown successfully in pots. Well, that's where two of the cicadas came from. We are actually on a bit of a service road. And I'm actually just coming up here to check on one plant in particular. Oh, that's another service road. Okay, it's a dead end. I'll take you in. Because we might not be back this way again. Yeah, there's another banana in here. Yeah, so I believe there's another banana in here. Got some more of the cat's tail. Cat's whiskers. Cat's whiskers. Idiot. So good, because cat's whiskers. So very thoughtfully put a toilet block in at the far end of the gardens, and if you know where it is and you ever need to use it, it's handy. I'm sure it's on the maps that you can get. There's usually a box of handouts of the maps on the way in. I don't really need them. Right, I want to get this name because I want to look into it. Anything called the strychnine tree. What a curious plant. Is there strychnine in it? Is it dangerous? Also back there, there's a Solanaceae called the potato bush. And I think I've seen something called the potato bush elsewhere in the garden. I did some research on it, and I may have some questions about what is the potato bush. So this track goes for quite a long way in that direction. And it may help them one day to extend the gardens up here. I don't know if these were planted hoop pines. If they were planted, they might be a little close together, but it could be the start of getting an overstory developed and developing some shade. I don't know. So this is off the beaten track for sure. Still, nothing on the left, and I assume planting's on the right because you don't see anything like that around here. It looks a bit like a native mangosteen. I'm guessing this came up by itself. Macaranga. They do that. And there's no need to cut them down unless they're shading something that you want to plant. A very good pioneer species, Macaranga. Very soft wood, fast growing, useless for most, well, any timber purposes you can name. Think of it like balsa without the strength. That's an average hillside around here. And not so average. These sandpaper figs, the birds spread the seeds and they come up everywhere, along with a lot of other types of figs. Baby hoop pine. Doesn't look native, and well, native Australian, but it doesn't look like any other tree on the hill necessarily, and that's not something you'd find on the average hillside around here. I didn't really think this through. I should have done one of the other paths through the deep, dark, shaded bits because it's pretty warm today. I'm going to pull up here, have a drink, let the camera cool down a little bit, and I will get back to you shortly. As I said, after finishing off the off-map section of the economic horticulture, we came in top left at the yellow X. We came down back the same way we'd gone in, and I've marked with the white X that new area that they've been working on, and we followed the dotted line around. The two blue dots quite close together are either side of the grease nut tree, and then the next blue dot is the cat's whiskers just past the bananas. And the next blue dot is that service track down in front of the ablution facilities. And we ended at the yellow X near the Rainforest Bridge, which we will get to in the next one of these. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one. See you next time.